Thank you.
Would you like the podium?
Not really. Yes and no.
Yes and no. I'll leave it. How about if I leave it just there?
Can I here or I can take it? Productivity. Sometimes it feels like a holy grail that we all chase, yet never find it. For a long time, I was obsessed with my to-do list. I would write down all the tasks I need to get done in a day and then cross it off. If I had done something that it wasn't on my to-do list, I would write it down and cross it off. That made me feel so accomplished. Can you relate? Do you know that feeling when you have a yearly review and your boss tells you 28 things that you're awesome at and one thing where you have room for improvement? All you can do is focusing on that one thing. And that happened to me. When I went to bed at night, I would focus only on the things I haven't done in a day, but would completely forgot about all the accomplishments, all the things that I have accomplished in a day. Taking time for rest, fun, or play didn't even cross my mind back then. And that brings me to the productivity mistake number one. We are drowning in a breathlessly long to-do list because we believe that everything is important. For decades, I believed that the world will stop spinning around the sun if I don't get things done. Until I got diagnosed with adrenal burnout, severe thyroid issues, and autoimmune disease, which is very common among ambitious women who suffer from rushing woman syndrome. My body slowed me down because my mind wouldn't. I needed to stop, reassess my life, and do things differently. So I came up with a remedy. I've created a new to-do list for myself. This time, I ask myself questions. What can I prune? This can go wrong. What can I prune? Who can help me? What can I delegate? And what is really important? I didn't do everything anymore. And I would like to hear from you, just in one short sentence. Have you ever experienced burnout, and how was that experience for you?
Yes, I have, and it wasn't very much fun. It was a work-related burnout, and yeah, it left me feeling very disconsolate.
Yeah. Anyone else?
When in previous careers I would work up to 4 contracts a day, and you just get exhausted and you can't switch off. And I can remember one afternoon that I knew that I would go home and I would carry on working, and I knew that I needed to stop, so I went to the cinema instead.
So all of you, I have one question for you. Do you have a no policy in place about other people's demands on your time? No? Why I'm not surprised. We usually don't know how to set boundaries. Here is a bold statement. Our productivity per hour declines sharply when we work 50 hours or more per week. True or false? Those of you who believe it's true, please stand up. Wow, and say, I'm a star! Yes, it is true. Researchers show that when we work 50 hours or more per week, our productivity declines sharply per hour. So there is no point working long hours. And I know this to be true from my own experience. Lately, I work frantically on my business and life planner. The thing that you don't know about me is that I'm a planner addict. And I've tried gazillions of planners out there, and no one was just right. So I created one for myself, which is now on Etsy shop for purchase available. But I had so much fun with it. It was so joyful experience. And one day, I worked on my planner all day. And Simon, my husband, got home. And believe me, he's a workaholic, so he is not home early. He got home and I was still working on my planner. He went for a run, come back, and I was still working on my planner. I stopped when he made a dinner. I felt so accomplished. I said to him, look how much I've done today. But the very next day, I went back to planner and I was indignant how many typos, color, and font inconsistencies I've made. And that brings me to the productivity mistake number 2. We believe that long hours equal productivity. Can you still remember what is the productivity mistake number 1? We are drowning in breathlessly long to-do lists because everything is important. And what I've learned is that I'm the most productive when I manage my energy, not time. What do I mean by managing my energy? Again, I've created an energy tracker for myself where I ask several questions like, what was my mental energy today? How did I feel in my body? How did I feel emotionally? Where I was able to focus the most? Was it morning, afternoon, evening? And when I was completing those questions every single day for a month or 2, I was able to start seeing patterns in my productivity. What I've learned about myself is that I'm the most productive between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. This is a time when I schedule the most demanding tasks or tasks that I really don't want to do and usually procrastinate on. And after lunch, usually my energy goes way down. And sometimes, I just don't feel working, motivation goes down, my focus goes down. And this is the time when I do easiest tasks. Let's say answering emails, having meetings, admin, and so on. There is no one fit for all time management or energy management. We are all different. Some of us are early birds and others are night owls. And that's okay. You just got to know yourself and schedule tasks according to your energy levels. Since we talk about energy, we can't go past talking about sleep. How long do you think we can go without sleep before our cognitive performance and vigilant attention start declining rapidly?
18 hours?
18? Anyone else?
It was 14.
14? Anyone else?
13.
16. It's 16 hours. And here is quite devastating story about how I've learned about the importance of sleep. When I was a young nurse, I worked a lot of night shifts. And night shifts are very hard for me. At one time, I worked 4 12-hour night shifts in a row, and that was over the weekend. It just happened that my neighbor decided to renovate his apartment on that weekend. So basically, I went without sleep for 4 days and 4 nights. At work, a doctor asked me to apply or administer a medication to a 3-year-old toddler before a medical procedure. Because I was so sleep deprived and so tired, I messed up with medications. And instead, getting toddler relaxed and calm before the procedure, I administered a medication that paralyzed all his muscles, including lungs. when I realized my mistake, I immediately told the doctor, and his reaction was, he'll be fine. Yes, he was fine because he was already intubated and on a breathing supporting machine. But this story could have ended completely differently. And that brings me to the productivity mistake number 3. Sleep is a luxury. No, sleep is it's necessary. According to Center for Disease Control, insufficient sleep is associated with diabetes, heart disease, depression, and obesity. Fatigue and drowsiness are the 4th most common cause of car accidents in Australia. Not to mention the amount and severity of mistakes that we make when we are sleep deprived. Let's test your listening skills. What is productivity mistake number 1?
Overly long and needlessly. No. Needlessly long and.
Breathtakingly long
That one. Too long to do lists.
to do.
Yes. What is productivity mistake number 2?
Long hours is productive.
Yes. And number 3?
Sleep is a luxury.
Yes. Can you see all this, how this all comes together? Basically, we believe that we need to get done everything. We don't know how to prioritize. And then we chase shiny objects and we try to subscribe to every free webinar out there, and we are so busy that we usually work long hours because we believe that that we are more productive that way. And sometimes we cut on sleep because we are so busy. And we believe that this increases productivity, but now you've learned that basically decreases productivity and increases the amount and severity of mistakes that we make, and also impacts our health in a negative way. Since we talk about mistakes, let's talk about distractions at work. I know that you all get distracted at work. What do you think? How long do you need to get your focus back after a distraction?
20 minutes?
Anyone else?
10 minutes.
Yes? Anyone else?
I thought it was 90 seconds, so.
I was going to say 3 minutes.
Researchers show that we get distracted every 6 minutes, and we need 25 minutes to get our focus back. So how on earth we get done anything? And here's a story how I manage my distractions at work. When I worked as a statistician, I was distracted very frequently. My work colleagues would come to me and ask me questions. Then I would have meetings. I was busy all day. Sometimes I didn't even have time for a lunch break. Yet I haven't made the progress I wanted to make on the projects I was working on. So I came up with a solution. On the wall behind my desk, I put a big banner, and I wrote with big capital letters, "Do not disturb," between 10 a.m. and noon every day. I made sure that everyone was on board, including my boss. That way, I made sure that I had 2 hours of interrupted time, and I haven't stopped there. I basically switched off all notifications, and I didn't answer any emails at that time. And when I was able to focus for 2 hours without distractions, I finally made the progress I wanted to make on the project I was working on. And this brings me to the productivity mistake number 4. Distractions are necessary part of our work. No, they are not. And those of you who love bing bing email, bing bing text message, bing bing YouTube video, bing bing someone mentioned you on Facebook, probably don't like the idea of turning off all the notifications. But trust me, notifications are your worst productivity enemy. So do you remember 4 productivity enemies? First one, breathlessly long to-do list. Second,
More hours equals more productivity.
yes. The third,
Sleep is a luxury.
the fourth,
Distractions are necessarily parts of your working week.
exactly. So how our day usually looks like? We work long hours, come home exhausted and tired, anxious that we haven't done enough in a day, worried that we will miss deadlines at work or self-imposed deadlines, and then we numb ourselves with alcohol and binge watching television or scrolling social media. Yet we forget about fun and play. We are so busy doing all the things on our to-do list that even a thought doing something unrelated to our to-do list creates stress. We convince ourselves that doing things like play, fun, or just taking time for sleep, it's a waste of our precious time. What if I say to you that play boosts creativity and innovation, improves our problem-solving thinking, and we better manage social complex interactions? What would you say? Is it true or false?
Definitely true.
True? Anyone believes it's false? No? Okay, then you surprised me a little bit. However, here I have a little assignment for you. Read the book titled Play, How It Shapes Our Brain, Opens the Imagination, and Invigorates Our Soul by Dr. Brown. And that brings me to the productivity mistake number 5. I don't have time for play and fun. What exactly is play? Everything that you have fun with. The sole purpose of play is enjoying yourself. And here is my question for you tonight. Imagine that you are 90 years old on your deathbed, looking back at your life. How would you like to remember your life? Would you like to remember that you worked long hours, you've been stressed, and you felt that you've never done enough? Or would you like to remember funny moments or silly moments with your friends, family, kids, like playing Scrabble or bowling or just sitting on the beach and watching sunset? I'm inviting you all to rethink productivity, to set healthy boundaries. Do not work more than 50 hours a week. Indulge yourself in play and sleep, and see how your focus, productivity, and fulfillment will skyrocket. Thank you.